Welcome to Module 5, Video 2. In this lesson, we're talking all things hashtags. Hashtags are confusing for many users on the platform, so don't feel bad if that's you. So let's start this lesson by first explaining how hashtags work. Think of hashtags as file folders in a catalog. Hashtags are a way to categorize your image according to its content in order to make your post searchable and therefore discoverable by interested viewers. At their most basic, hashtags are just an organization system. Because you need the hashtags you use to be easily searchable, they need to be relevant to your content and recognizable as commonly used hashtags. I see this far too often where users don't understand how hashtags work or how to use them, and so they think that it's appropriate to make up a hashtag or invent a hashtag for every post, something entirely random. But if you make up a hashtag for every image, you've wasted an opportunity. No one is searching for hashtags you invent. If we go back to our analogy to file folders, that would be as if you're the only one posting in that file folder, and that file folder is shoved way back in the cabinet. No one else knows that it exists. No one's ever going to open it up and find out what's in there. So while you could have used a relevant hashtag, you used a random one and gave yourself a significant disadvantage in search. Viewers are searching under popular, commonly used hashtags. A good rule of thumb is if you're the only one posting under a certain hashtag, don't use it. That's a clear sign there's no activity in that search field or there's no activity in that file folder. The only exception to this rule is if you create a branded hashtag for your own account or content feature. To give you an example, when I do a giveaway or a read-along, I will create a very unique hashtag specifically for that content. And in that case, I do my best to make sure the hashtag hasn't been used before so that the hashtag creates a file folder for everyone interested in that specific content. So for that specific read-along or that specific giveaway. So that's the only exception to that rule. Don't use random or unrelated hashtags on your posts because no one is searching for them. You are allowed a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. If your image and caption is not posting on Instagram, it's likely for one of two reasons, usually because your caption is too long or you've exceeded the hashtag limit. So if you run into this problem before running to Instagram support, try removing a few hashtags or shortening your caption. In order for your hashtag choices to work best within the algorithm, there are two things you should not do. The first of which is to use banned hashtags. Now, over the last few years, Instagram has been working very hard to attack spam accounts or inappropriate content accounts. Unfortunately, those spam accounts do at times attach themselves to certain hashtags, and in order to stop the spam of inappropriate content that goes against Instagram community guidelines, Instagram will remove access to that hashtag. So if you are using that hashtag on your posts, it alerts the algorithm that you may be posting inappropriate content, even though you're not. But when you use that banned hashtag, the algorithm may or may not loop you into users it thinks that are posting that inappropriate content, and it will do something called shadow banning. Shadow banning essentially removes your post from all searches and only shows it to a very small percentage of people already following you. If you start to notice really low engagements on your post, there is a way to check if your post has been shadow banned, and I will leave a link to one of those checker websites in the description of this video. The other thing that you should not do is to use the same exact hashtags on every post, and it's for a very similar reason. Instagram does its best as a platform to crack down on spammers, and unfortunately, spammers have sort of ruined the game for everyone else in that they use the same hashtags over and over again and they just blast posts out. The idea is that perhaps if the algorithm notices that you're using the same hashtags every time, they might start to consider you a spam account. And so the easy fix for this is just to mix up your hashtags now and again. So to be clear, for your hashtag choices to work best within the algorithm, do not use banned hashtags. and do not use the same hashtags on every post. There's another point of preference that people tend to go back and forth on, and that choice is either to post your hashtags inside the caption itself or to post them in a separate comment. This is a matter of personal preference, though I recommend placing them in the caption itself. While Instagram has not confirmed this, as an influencer, I've experimented back and forth, and I've talked to other influencers who have also found that posts tend to do better if the hashtags are placed within the caption itself. So how can you find hashtags to use on your posts? I completely understand that lots of people don't know where to start, and it's really just a matter of search and experimentation. I would start with searching for a basic hashtag under the category you represent. So for you, that would be something like hashtag writer. So I would type hashtag writer into the search field, have that basic search, and then Instagram as a platform will actually pull for you a series of related hashtags. These are all hashtags you can pull from and use. Try another basic search and add on to your list, and so on and so forth until you feel that you've gotten a great base of hashtags to pull from. Another great way to find hashtags that tend to be working well for other users is to make note of what other Instagrammers in your community are using. For instance, if you notice an account that's been doing really well lately, or that their particular post has been doing very well, I would take note of what captions they are using for that post. Go ahead and write them down on your phone, or make yourself a hashtag group in Preview following what that Instagrammer has done. To get you started, I did create a list of commonly used hashtags in the book and writing communities. It's in no way conclusive. Hashtags change and develop and grow and fall out of use all the time, but this will be a great resource for you to get started and to use as search terms to explore hashtags you might want to use in future. So if you're ready to experiment, save some hashtag groups in the Preview app. Remember that you can use a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. I also want you to make sure that your hashtags are relevant to your content and are easily searchable. For example, if you were posting about your writing and it was a picture of your notebook and your desk, you wouldn't include hashtags like cross-country skiing or outfit of the day because they're not relevant to what your content is, so you're not making yourself searchable in the right audience sector. You also want to make sure that you're using hashtags that others are using so that you know that there's activity in that file folder, that people are going to be opening that file folder up, seeing what's inside, and they might just stumble across your content. In the next video, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on something that a lot of people struggle with, which is understanding how to make line breaks in their captions. So I'll see you in the next video.